Okay, guys, I'm back again. Doing another YouTube video. This is my second one. I thought I talk about something a little different this time. I'm going to talk about the sports postseason coming up, the college baseball, college softball, and the NBA and NHL postseasons. About which teams are going to be in it, which teams I think have a chance to win. Here it is. So in the Women's College World Series, we got a lot of good teams as contenders this year. I'm hoping that Oklahoma gets taken down a couple pegs, but as they've won the last four. But I want them to sort of lose. But if they win, they win. But again, here they are. First team's obviously Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's going to make it back to Women's College World Series again. I think they're gonna be. They're obviously pretty good this year. They lost a lot of seniors from last year, but they always reload a lot of good talent. So they always have good pitching staff, and their hitters are always great. So here's hoping that they don't play too well and maybe they lose in the finals or in the Final Four. I don't know. Hopefully, because they're in the SEC now, so they're going to represent a different conference this time around. So SEC obviously wants to win the national championship either way. They don't care who wins. Greg Sankey, he doesn't care who wins. He just wants them to win. So maybe that'll happen. Maybe that won't. Okay. Then I got Texas and going in there too, because obviously Texas has got good softball. They've had good softball for a little while now. They finished runner-up 2 of the last 4 years to Oklahoma. They lost to Oklahoma in the finals 2 of the last 4 years. They've been really, really good. They obviously have good hitting and good pitching too. But I hope to God that they don't. Probably they don't win either, because I don't. I mean, Texas has never won before, so I guess if like someone like Cat Osterman wanted them to win, I would root for them. But like if like Cat Osterman was coaching them, I would definitely want them to win. But because that other guy's coaching them right now, I don't know. I mean, maybe they should win. I don't know. They've always had good teams, so here's hoping that maybe they can knock off Oklahoma. I don't know. But I just wanted. Okay, all right, okay. LSU's the next team I think will get in. LSU, they've had good years in the past with Betrina, but they haven't quite gotten over the hump yet. And they made it to the Final Four the year I went to the I've been to the Women's College World Series in person, and they went the year that I was there. And I think they finished like third place. I think the year I was there. So that wasn't bad. So I mean, they made it to the Final Four, and they finished third. So I mean, that was pretty good. And I think Auburn finished like fourth that year, and then I think Florida ended up winning it all, and Michigan finished like runner up. But that was a good year, and that was a good tournament to go to. So if I get to go to that tournament again before in my life. But yeah, LSU, they got good pitching and they got good hitting this year. I know they took 2 out of 3 against Alabama this past weekend. Here's hoping that they do pretty well too. Next team I got in is Florida. This is the final SEC team I got getting in this year, because Florida, I mean, they were the only team who beat Oklahoma last year at the Women's College World Series. They were the only team who gave them a challenge, and I think that Tim Walton always has a really, really good team, and he obviously has reloaded from last year too. So they're doing really well in the SEC right now. So I think they'll definitely make it back and maybe make a run towards the championship this time around. I know they got Keegan Rothrock's really good, and they got a few other pitchers too. So and then I got Florida State getting in out of the ACC. Obviously, Florida State's dominated the ACC so far this year, because they swept Duke. They went to Duke and they absolutely swept Duke. They like destroyed them, and then they beat Virginia 2 out of 3 this weekend. I think they lost their first ACC game to Virginia, but then they destroyed them the last 2 games. So yeah, Florida State's just dominating. They've always like cut through teams in their conference, and I think they'll cut through some more teams and get to the Women's College World Series again this year. And then I got Texas Tech making it out of the Big 12 because Najee Kennedy's there now, and the coach from Louisiana's there, and he brought a bunch of his players over, and I just think they're gonna be a surprise. I think they might sneak up on some people, but they might be the Cinderella this year who makes it to Oklahoma City. I think, but I don't think they'll be much of a Cinderella because obviously that pitcher, she's been to OKC before, so with Stanford. So I mean, obviously they're not going to completely sneak up on people, but I think they could obviously do that for the Big 12. They could be one of those Big 12 teams that just sneaks in there at the end. But I think they're going to be very good, and I think they may get in there too. Arizona, I got getting in next. Obviously Arizona and UCLA are the last two I got getting in there. They're both storied programs. You know, they're the two most storied programs in the history of that sport because they won the most national championships. I think UCLA has won like 12, and I think Arizona's won like 8. So they won like a total of 20 of the however 30 something national championships. They won 20 of them combined. So that's pretty good, and I think they're both storied programs, and I think Caitlin Lowe and Kellyanne Perez do a really good job. They were really good successors to Sue Enquist and Mike Andrea. I think they were really, really good successors to them, and I think they're going to both make it back to the Women's College World Series this year. Now the College World Series, okay. I got Arkansas making it to the College World Series in Omaha this year. I think they've been the best this year. They're ranked number 1 right now. They've just torn it up in the SEC this year, and Tennessee lost 2 out of 3 this past weekend to Texas A&M, who was really struggling. So that was a big deal. That helped Arkansas get to number 1, and also Arkansas just dominated everybody they played. So I think they're definitely going to make it in. I think Dave Van Horn always has a good team, and he's going to get them in there again and maybe possibly for another championship. Then I got Tennessee getting in out of the SEC. Tennessee, obviously the defending champion from last year, Tony Vitello's team, and they've always been good. Obviously, they've always been one of the teams that I think can get in and get stuff done. I don't know who any of the players are, but I know that they're always really good. Tennessee is. They've always got good pitching, good hitting, and good defense. And I just think that that's going to be a big key into getting into Omaha again. And so yeah. Then I got Clemson getting in out of the ACC. Obviously Eric Backus and his team. He took Michigan to the finals the one year, the national championship series. He took them to Michigan to that series one year, and they lost to Vanderbilt in the finals. But they had a really good year that year. The Michigan did, and he took them to the finals. He took them to the finals, I think, for the first time in a long, long time. And now he's with Clemson, and he's going to get Clemson, I think, back there at some point. He didn't get him back there last year, but I think he'll get him back there maybe this year too. And then I got Texas. Texas is out of the ACC, obviously, and they got Jim Schlossnagle, who was at TCU, and Texas A&M took TCU and Texas A&M to multiple College World Series. Just hadn't gotten that brass ring yet, so just hadn't gotten the national championship yet. But he almost got it last year with A&M. They finished runner-up to Tennessee last year, and they won the first game. They owned Tennessee in the first game, but just lost the last 2 to them. And usually sometimes that's just the way it goes. You win the first game of the championship series, and you lose the next 2, and then you end up losing the series. So that happens sometimes. But I think A&M, I think Texas will be really, really good this year because of him. And obviously A&M's suffering because of that, which I kind of hate that. I hate that he kind of left and went to the rival college and coached them. But obviously he took most of his staff with him too. So I mean that was kind of a shitty thing to do. But I understand it. I mean, I guess he just needed to He got a better offer at Texas, but still, I still think that was kind of a dumb thing for him to do, to go to a rival school. And I got Georgia. Georgia at the SEC. Georgia has got really, really good hitting. Like, I watched them against Florida, and they destroyed Florida in the game I watched them against. I watched them play in because obviously, Georgia, they've built their lineup now out of transfers and out of veteran guys now, and now they've got really good hitting, and I think they've got good pitching and defense too. But I just think about them maybe hitting their way into Omaha this year, and I think they will. I think they'll obviously, if they get 2 home series, if they get home at the regionals and super regionals, obviously they got a good chance to get in, as long as they play in Athens and they don't have to play outside of Athens. I think they'll get in. And then I got North Carolina at the ACC. They made it last year. They obviously, it had been the first time in a while since they had made it. I think they finished runner-up a couple of years in 06 and 07 to Oregon State. I remember that. Those were the days when I really started watching the games in Omaha. We're back in 06 and 07 when they played Oregon State, and obviously that was a big deal. I mean, they had a dynasty back then. They don't anymore, but I think North Carolina is good again, and I think they're going to make it back. Arizona State's the next one, and then Wake Forest is the last one. Arizona State and Wake Forest, obviously Arizona State out of the Big 12. I think they're gonna make some noise eventually. They're doing pretty well in Big 12 play right now, and Kansas State's doing pretty well. Was doing pretty well. They got swept by Oklahoma State, but Arizona State, I believe they did. Did they win 2 out of 3 against Arizona? I can't remember. I think they did. I think they won at least one game against Arizona. But I think they're going to do pretty well, and I think they're going to, as long as they stay in Tempe, at least for the first round, even if they have to travel in the second round in the Super Regional, I think they'll still get in. And then Wake Forest, obviously, they came out of the gate really good, and now they've started going on a skid. But I think Wake Forest, they were there a couple years ago, back in 2023, and I think they'll be good enough to go back. I think that coach, he's really been there a long time, and I think he knows how to make Wake Forest into a good team. So there you go. And then I'm going to talk about NBA. Okay, so in the NBA, you got Eastern Conference. You got the best record in the league is Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, I think they have a good chance to win the title. I think they obviously, I think that's they got a good chance, but I think I think that they like with Cleveland. I think I've not seen them play this year a lot. I haven't watched the NBA or the NHL a whole lot this season, but I think they've obviously played pretty well. And I just whoever, I think in the finals, I think in the NBA finals, I think it's going to be, I'll just say who I think is going to be in the NBA finals, because I don't know much about these teams. I mean, I could talk about them all day, but I wouldn't know. I think it'll be the LA Lakers and the Boston Celtics, and I think the Lakers are going to win it all. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know that for sure, but I think that's what's going to happen, because I think the Celtics are in second, and I think the Lakers are in third in the Western, and I think that'll be a good series if it does happen. But I just think I just haven't watched it a whole lot. I haven't been an avid watcher of it. Same thing with the NHL. I think it'll probably be in the Stanley Cup. It'll probably be, let me see here. It'll probably be Winnipeg and Toronto, and I'm guessing Winnipeg's going to win. But I don't know that for sure. They're both in first place, I think. I think they could match up pretty well. And I think Winnipeg could win it all, I think, because I think they've got a pretty good team this year. I haven't watched them play a whole lot. I haven't been an avid watcher of any of that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that was Okay, that's my video, and I know it's not a great video, and my last one wasn't that great either, but please be kind to me, please. All right, have a nice one.